So the first thing we're going to cover is our private sale. Now, our private sale, what we're really saying here is these are the tokens that we're going to sell to private investors like venture capital. Now, you might notice over here it says private sale and 10%. So what we said here is we have 10% of our token supply allocated to private investors. And ideally, from my standpoint, I personally don't like to see this number higher than 15%. Ideal to me is around 10%. If I start seeing 20 and 25%, think about what that communicates to the community later on when you're live. It just tells them that the investors are going to sell on them, right? And that's what it says. So you really want to think about this percentage and this perspective that it creates, because this will either make or break you in the future as well. So let's just say in our scenario, we come up with through our budgeting that we need $2 million to go ahead and build out our project. So we're going to say that we want to raise $2 million. I come over here to the private round area. I say our raise and I put $2 million. Now, what you might have noticed is over here, our private sale now says 20%. So we're higher than that 15% threshold, ideally 10%. And now we actually have to raise our valuation up to get it back down to 10%. If you look over here, we say our market cap is $10 million. So if our total supply is $1 billion, and by the way, $1 billion is a standard that I personally like. You don't have to keep that, but $1 billion is usually a good rule. So if I have $1 billion total tokens and I sell them to investors at 1 cent, then I'm actually saying all tokens are worth $10 million, right? $1 billion times 1 cent is $10 million. That's what I'm saying. All tokens are worth. That's the valuation I'm selling them at. And I'm going to raise $2 million, right? So I'm going to raise $2 million and all tokens are worth $10 million. That's 20%. That's how the math works out. So if I want to get this down to 10, I have to increase this valuation just like this. So now I increase it to 20 million and it goes back down to 10%, right? This divided by this is 10%. And this is really important because if this starts going too high, that could also put off investors. So you also have to do some research in your market and figure out projects that are raising right now, what are they raising at? You can use Masari and other tools like ICO Drops also has some things you can use for some research. But you really want to make sure you go through that. And first of all, make sure you're not at too high of a valuation given your project and given your niche. In the next video, what we're going to talk about is the public sale, and I'll show you how these two things tie in together. And it's really important you get this right, or else your token could be too expensive for the market, and then nobody will want to buy it.